Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and whoa, my light just flickered. That's unsettling. Welcome to Regal Tales, Alpha Build 0.3.6. I was gifted, well, you can't really say you were gifted a free game. Well, the developers sent me a link to the Patreon. Now, I had already caught wind of this game, but I hadn't gotten a slot open until Panzer Hearts ended. And this morning they sent me a message and asked about whether I'd play it or not, and the answer is yes. I'm gonna play it. And I've been sitting here for a good couple minutes with this awesome music, and I'm just like, I'm pumped up. It looks a little choppy. I know it's gonna be a little choppy right now. I don't imagine the rest of the game looks like this. And if you want to see the game unencumbered by my shitty computer, I would recommend going and finding the game on Patreon at the link below. You can get it there and you can play it. It's free and has many versions, and my god, this so fucking cool, dude. And it sounds so awesome, it's so epic! It makes me really want to play, so let's get right into this shit. I don't want to waste another goddamn moment. Shh, it's okay. I'm here, my child. You have a big day today, being the birthday boy and all. Already a year old, and you already have a little fight in you. There, you can rest, my boy. The party will wait just for you. You're still too young to understand, but at least you should know is the face of your loving mother this day. Oh, have I been doing the voice of a woman? My bad. I don't like looking over edges, dude. I don't. I ain't about that. So let's look at a statue. A large golden lioness statue oversees the city view from the garden. Her right leg is arched up, with her long right arm resting on it. Her left leg is stretched out, and her tail and left arm resting beside it. With. Look, Naya. It's your son's birthday. Already a year old. Yeah. Here's your mother, my boy. So great and powerful she was. She'd never let you go with that monstrous grip of hers. You're probably too young to understand it all, but it only feels right to tell you who your mother was, what she was to all the people she inspired in the past. Her loving memory is the only gift she can give you today, my son. If only fate wasn't so twisted back then. I wish it didn't have to be a war for us to find each other, but it did. And she nearly killed me when we first met, if you can believe it. That war of ours. Before your mother helped bring an end to the war, this world was nothing but a slaughterhouse, fueled for both riches and power. My bulb is flickering in and out. Let's just fucking... Nah, it's just gonna do that, I guess? Okay, well, you're gonna get this weird fucking square behind me, because that's just what's gonna happen, I guess. Yay. Because why should things look good? See, now it's back. Heard me talking shit. Beforehand, each neighboring nation was at rope ends with each other, favoring their own over others. It was only through a strict trade route that kept every nation in check. Until that bloody day. The very mountains that divided our land spewed fire from their peaks. All routes we all depended on were lost and up in smokes. Multiple smokes. Even the very land around them shattered like glass and tore apart everything we built. Panic took hold of everyone's minds, both king and commoner alike. It didn't take long for riots to break out, for leaders to lash out to one another and deem their coming actions right. Kingdoms and dynasties alike banded together once the lines were drawn. Whether they were forged or enforced, everyone was desperate for an ally during those troubling times. Your mother, before the cataclysm shook our world, was a legend amongst her people. The Shaskarans, infamous for their barbaric leaps of strength in battle, found comfort in power and might in their chieftains. From what I've gathered, your mother was even considered a goddess to some in her tribe for sheer power alone. Even before the Great War, your mother united all of the clans in her homeland into one big tribe, either by negotiating or aggressively negotiating. She never put herself before her people. She'd always fight for them or alongside them if the call were ever made. If only the rest of the world thought like her. If only she surrounded herself with allies that would do the same for her. Oh, shit. King Regard. This is an interesting art style. It's not cartoony. It looks like an actual leopard king. A tremendous feat for our dear Baron Horcrumb. Not only did he preserve our encampment, but also wiped out the entire Divonair regime. Ha ha ha! A female weasel dressed in white and purple dress chimes in as her fingers dance across the war map. Whoa! Holy shit! The Southwest is exposed. Now, it'll be easy pickings taking the riverfront from the Imperials. You're the king and queen talking about the Imperials. Other Imperials, I imagine. She leaned her slender form over the table, picking and knocking over faction figurines off the map. A commotion starts to rumble outside the doors. As pieces flung off the table, a bony-fingered hand littered with jeweled rings caught a piece crafted as a lioness head. Oh, Baron Horcrumb. It's a fucking rooster. I say, and to think it only costs us a few hundred Shastra tribesmen to take out 5,000 Imperials. Horcrumb sips from his goblet, unaware of the silence the room became. The silence breaks as Regal drops his goblet in shock. What? The rustling outside becomes more noticeable. An iguana bathed in religious garb stuttered out in revolution. You made no mention. You used Shaskaraman as the bait in your report. The queen drags her head over the map with terror in her eye. Wasn't the southern Shaskra troops led by Juko? Dread filled the room as everyone stared at one another. Shit. There's something so serene seeing a regal-looking leopard king saying ... shit. Ah, shit, dude. The cold, dead silence of the room instantly broke from the sound of knocking, the door opening, or yelling. There is a sound of knocking at the door. The hammering sound of metal on metal echoed into the war room. Who is it? We're in private session right now. Captain Alden, sir. The dread that loomed over the king's eyes parted with relief. Alden, you're awfully late. We all started celebrating without you. Guards. The Leopard King motioned the two Sentinel Rhino guards to open the cast iron doors for the captain. Both guards staggered back by the weight of the massive doors before swinging them wide open. Ooh, shit. I like this, almost minimalistic style of art. It's just brush strokes, but you can clearly see what it is. It almost looks like a real fucking painting. I love it. As the lights from inside shed through the dark halls, a figure of a male ram, cladded in armor, started to emerge. It's Carl! It's Carl from Echo. The ghastly night air crept into the war room, snuffing out any life that was preciously held inside it at the time. Everyone inside choked once the doors were fully open. The front of the ram captain's helmet was bashed in with pools of blood trickling through. All the while, a massive red stain splurged all over the doors. Oh, Carl, what happened to you? Oh my god! That's fucking terrifying. Captain Alton wallowed in his armor, nearly 2 days to plead for help or even warn them. Aff ain't cry passes from him. Oh, a faint cry. Okay. As the darkness outside abruptly sucks him in. It's an alpha build. Be nice. He reemerges instantly, flying directly onto the war map. Everyone became paralyzed with fear at the sight, even the guards. Then came the growling. Everyone returned his or her gaze back to the entrance the poor captain had flown through. In it stood a ferocious lioness, towering over the guards as if they were ants. Oh my god, it's fucking... what's her name? Tiger... I don't remember. I didn't watch Thundercats. I'm not even gonna pretend. She's fucking scary looking, though. My god. No one expects the Spanish Lion Inquisition. Her fierce ember eye glared coldly at the frightened king. She began to approach him. It was only then that the guards snapped to and aimed their spears at her. She, however, couldn't care less. Her eyes were on everyone. "We missed the party, you said?" Naya? Or is it Naya or Naha? Naja? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Naya. It sounds right, but once I'm corrected, I'll change it, I'm sure. Fabulous Aura likes her. She pushed him out of the way, proceeding to where the captain laid on the war map. Gripping him by the scruff of his neck, she prompted his head up to her side. "You hear that, Alton? We're too late, it seems. How awful. I guess you were right about keeping your mouth shut. Too much talking just slows us down." She flings the dazed ram back on the table. Nobody speaks afterwards. The only sound that kept the room alive was the aching moans of the battered captain. Dots. Nice. A savage rage. I can't scream right now, I'm sorry. A savage rage flooded the room with Naya in the center of it all. With a single swoop, the monstrous lioness took hold of the oak table by its end and swings it overhead. Holy shit. Holy shit. I like how, like, the backgrounds change a lot. Very ambitious for a game, especially one that's an alpha. The Leopard King ducked in time to miss it, saved for his 2 guards, the captain who flung across the room after impact. Naya leaped after the king and struck his neck up by his cape, and strung his neck up by his cape with her bare fist. "God, hand me you Don't you dare give me orders, not after what you lot did!"
"Liar! Despite what it looked like, we did everything we could to try and help your son, Joku."
The howling winds from the night sky cried out into the hallowed halls of the fortress. The brisk cold air finally found its way into the war room and shook everyone to their core. The instant the Bannon muttered out the name of Naya's son. Naya lets go of the king and lets him fall. Her bloodshot eyes sliced through the air and aimed instantly at the cowering rooster. Whilst Naya stalked her way to the Baron, he frantically shot his gaze to his fellow allies, praying for any of them to vouch for him. But nobody did. The Baron suddenly was stricken with pain and gasping for air. In that instance of seeking out aid from his colleagues, the lioness snaps her talons around the elderly rooster's neck. Naya hoisted Horkham up against the wall, her eyes storming with rage and tears. "Don't lie! Hey, yeah!" Her grip around his neck tightens horrifically as Horkham started to turn blue with his eyes bulging out. "Alton told me everything!" She slams him to the tilted flood. Oh, the tiled flood, which I imagine to be tiled floor. See, I said it wrong, and then there was a typo. That's an amazing. Leaving a massive crack in the center, her fiery gaze bolts to everyone in the room now. "You all had a part to play in the assault, and you did nothing!"
Now, listen, my dear.
You all had troops in the area. You all had the field advantage. What did you all decide to do behind my back? And what did you all do behind my back? We had no other options, Naya. No options? No options? Causing a landslide and burying my men? My son was the only option you worms had! I should kill you all for this, especially you! She pounces towards the fidgeting Baron and slammed a mighty kick into his back. She arches down with her fangs bared behind his neck. What did you say to Alton again? Spare the archers and let the canyon do the rest? Oh, here we go.
That's enough!
A bear claw snared around Naya's shoulder and forced all its strength to pull her back. General Karm, a stocky grizzly bear clad in silver armored plating, snarled at the lioness. However, a grim reminder sinks into his face as Naya snaps around and glares him down at eye level, remembering just how tall and barbarically built she was as she towers to her full height. She has a full foot over him, growling intensely.
Listen, I know you're angry.
Naya, snarling, puts emphasis on his words by tightening her grip on Horkrum's neck, causing him to squeak in pain.
But this alliance needs him. You need him. He's been the one that has been keeping our trade sponsored and your clan fed. He's been giving you the resources your people been desperately needing since this war began. Naya slowly settled her snarling as the bear talked sense into her. Her grip started to loosen. Joku died with honor like his father. He sacrificed himself for the better good.
Naya swiftly backhands Karm's muzzle, causing him to stagger back. She lets go of Horkrum to lean to eye level with the general. Don't you dare speak of honor to me! Joku's father and his men were the first casualties since this damn war began! Naya grabs Karm by the scruff of his armored collar. Or did you forget who it was that protected your ass while you retreated with your king? The bear grippins hold of the lioness' wrists to pry it off of him.
If you think wars can be won with honor and brute strength alone, then you are living in a fool's dream. Wake up! We all lost something here, not just you.
The general leans in to match her heavy gaze.
If an opportunity arises, good soldiers must be ready to accept the risks this war gives.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The general's words are choke out of him as Naya single-handedly grips and hoists him in the air by the scruff of his collar. She brings him to her full eye level now, not his. And throwing boulders on them is part of the deal, did they know? Were they given warning to this risk? The general's words are choke out of him again as Naya single-handedly grips and hoists him in the air by the scruff. We already saw that one. Oh, did I accidentally? No, I didn't press back. It just repeated. Again, it's an alpha. Be nice. Karn's glaring eyes broke away from Naya, unable to talk himself out of the situation at hand. Oh shit. Her arm moved. Naya takes Karn's silence and gulps back the harsh reality she was given. She tosses the general against the wall. Karm braces himself against the stone as here gains his footing. Naya had her back to him now. You fucking High Lords might treat your men differently, but my clan is my family, not some pawns to be discarded! She begins to walk towards the door. She was tired of the nonsense and lies she was being told. Karm barks out.
Naya, where you think you're going? We're not finished here!
To the vanguard with my men, unlike you whelps! Because it's being used with that H, and in its proper usage, I will begrudgingly accept the usage of that word. I don't intend to sit on my ass as this war goes on! Naya scoffs under her breath while glaring at the unconscious rhino guard she previously knocked down. Pathetic. Holcrum chokes and wheezes on the table as he staggered towards the general. I forgot to take my pills. Holcrum chokes and wheezes on the table as he staggered towards the general.
General, arrest this fiend! I want that Sabbath whore.
In an instant, an armored-clad rhino slams into the frail rooster and knocks him off his feet. She was not done with him. The surrounding group looks to the squawking Baron before shooting their gaze to Naya. The lioness returns those shocked gazes with a mock-concerned expression, shrugging. Word of advice? Get better guards. Just about anyone can walk all over them. Oh, and she faded out. My God, she is cool. She fucking cool. Naya storms over the remaining Rhino guard, leaving the war room in a state of damages and dread. Naya stewed in her anger as she walks out of the castle and down to the gate trenches. Damn. Naya thrashes her way through the onlooking guards whilst exiting the central building. Her brooding composure left a sense of fear in her wake, causing every soldier to scramble away from her heavy gaze. Several guards Naya encountered, now seen with heavy dents in their armor prior to their outburst, fled for their lives. Naya reached the main gate to the fortress. She glared up at the defense tower that operated the gate. Impatient, she roars to the top of her lungs after seconds of it not opening. Open! The men at the tower flail in fear before operating the gate wheel. The massive iron gate rocked open, greeting Naya to the setting red sun, and her clan parked outside. Her Ford clan. It's a nice Ford-door... whatever. A large gathering of barbaric-sized animals, rather. Tigers, gorillas, vipers, vultures, etc. greeted Naya with eyes eager for the next order. Zuta, a battle-torn elderly wolf with scars bashed across his face, stood next to Naya's primitive horse. He looked to her with great concern, as did everyone else. He, himself, saw something he personally didn't want to see on Naya's face. Defeat. Holy shit, that... Zuta looks fucking cool.
Naya, how'd it go up there? Should I prep our men for...
Naya leaped up on her horse saddle with ease, roaring to her clansmen. We're heading out now! No one questioned Naya's order. They swiftly tailed behind after her horse burst away from everyone. Naya and her tribe ventured out towards the wasteland and far, far away from the fortress. Now see, that's curious because we were told in the very beginning that she was dead, and now we're being told that her son and her husband are dead. I don't fucking understand this. But that's what the whole fucking point of it being the first episode is. So we will address this choice. I haven't even read what the fuck it is. I know it's a tree of boulder in the sky, but I don't know what the fuck what it means. We will address this choice, oh god, in the next episode. Thank you all very much for joining me on this debut episode of A Regal Tale, or Regal Tales, sorry. Of Regal Tales, Jesus. And I look forward to playing this game more. It's very different, very interesting. The art style is different. I love the background arts. Oh my Jesus. You can tell I played too many of these when I'm picking up background arts as, like, the thing. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching this episode of Regal Tales. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained unprofessional speaker with the voices on my head when I say, fare thee well. Bye, everyone!